everyone, Jasmine here from the card back to a new Simpsons review, and if you all didn't see the last one, go and check it out. And this episode is Homer going to space. Yeah, Homer goes to space in this episode. So the episode starts with, of course, this inspection, pretty much, at the plant. And everybody getting these rewards. Which Homer says that he is going to be the one to get the reward now, because everybody's got a reward except him. So, he also says it because it's in, and he believes also because, well, he just knows it for sure. And Smithers says to give a welcome to Mr. Burns, which he says this funny thing at the first, and then he announces the winner. The reward, which is, of course, well, not Ned. I mean, not Homer. Yeah. And, of course, Homer is mad. And he's saying that nobody respects him. Obviously, like at the plant. Nobody respects him at the plant. And Marge says that the family respects him, and Bart writing insert brain here on Homer's head, which everybody starts laughing about it, and he's wondering what's so funny, he's deciding to watch TV just so he can get the old nerves, which this starts laughing, and he tries to change the channel after the batteries fall out of the remote because of the space launch thing, which he tries to put it on, which Bart unplugs the TV, and they're at the station. They're talking about this whole literal monkey stuff and trying to find why all the charts have been going down, which they see some tapes pretty much. Which, yeah. And getting a call from Homer, which they actually say that he's actually the right one for the job. So they go to Moe's, and pretty much Homer's talking to the government or president, and he says that it wasn't him that called, it was Barney. Which then when he heard respect, he said that it was him, which did knock him out, saying he was saying that they asked to be astronauts, pretty much, which they all go to basically a rented place, a rented house, pretty much, while basically Homer's going to space. And they show that Bart and Homer are obviously going to be the ones, and that everybody asks if this is basically a bad idea, and everybody raising their hand, and Homer obviously talking about the lady, the Statue of Liberty, and starts blaming, and everybody knocked out pretty much, and basically they're gonna do some tests, and whoever passes is gonna be the one that goes to space, which, yeah, telling Barney that he can't drink the beer, which obviously Homer tells them that he's got a drinking problem, and yeah, Marge is actually liking of this idea, pretty much. So Homer comes, and yeah, Barney's actually in shape, and he actually starts singing the song that Archibald sung in that song, pretty much, in VeggieTales, when he was in the library doing the books, the Maintenance General. Y'all may know it's what I'm talking about, but he starts singing while he's backflipping. Homer tries to do a dance too, but he ends up falling. So the test begins. Yeah, Homer's pretty much not doing as well. And they get introduced to pretty much two popular astronauts. And Barney actually wins and gets to go. Which they have a toast, but it actually turns out that it's alcoholic, and he starts chugging it, and it's back to normal pretty much, and ends up getting run over. And yeah, Homer now has no choice but to obviously to go to space. So they knock him out anyway. Itchy and Scratchy into space, and yeah. And then the whole thing, like, violence and should not have been viewed by young children. And of course, Bart and Lisa are laughing while Homer's all scared. So him and the two astronauts are walking, and Homer obviously saying no and runs and calls Marge, which Marge obviously saying that she did respect him even before she married him, and that basically having a talk that makes Homer obviously decide to go into space. So they're getting ready, and they checked everything, and the rocket is now out for launch. And these faces that happen too. And of course, Lisa's doing this kind of some speech, and then she says, "Go, Homer." And everybody cheering because it's on the charts pretty much at the station. And saying that they don't actually have real monitors. So they're in space, and obviously Homer's got some potato chips that end up spilling everywhere, which he starts eating before they can cause any problems, which he goes into the ants. And now they have ants flying everywhere too. And this guy just comes and starts playing the guitar while everybody's just floating. And the news shows that, mistaking one of the ants as a giant ant. And everybody freaking out pretty much. And saying that the ants may take over them, even though they're not. And the guy's still singing while the ants end up destroying some of the stuff in the ship and start going crazy, and that they might actually have a good idea of opening the door to let all the ants and chips out, pretty much, which they told him to hold on tight, which Homer obviously letting go is about to basically be sent into deep space, which he gets pulled out, and he threatens to beat his fellow workers, and he actually closes the latch on the door until they can be able to land, which they head back to Earth. They land, and they're all wondering of how they managed to do it, which they think, obviously, the rod. Which, they throw a parade for a rod. And obviously Homer is, of course, saying that he was the one that saved the day, pretty much, and not the rod. And then they all have pretty much saying that, Homer did do the unthinkable, pretty much, that you would never have thought. A real great episode, so hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe if you need to. Much fun notifications, don't miss anything new, and let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Okay, till next one, bye. And obviously, of course, I almost forgot talking about if Bart has anything to say, which he writes hero, and pretty much starts the marker, which ends up with a fox sting, and Bart's in space, and he gets hit in the head with it.